break this week over in the Championship as we look forward to the international break just around the corner. That's right. Who will be top of the table as we head into that international break? Well, I'm going to tell you all about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today, we're looking forward to the Championship, and it is match day number 4. That's right, over in the Championship. And we'll get to that in a minute. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for Championship is right here under one roofski. That's about a bag of shat. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today, we're looking forward to match day number 4 in the Championship as we head closer to the first international break of this new campaign. Who will top the charts? Of course, heading into that break, we'll get into it, all of it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe and your one-stop shop for Championship football is right here under one rooskies. Rovers do take on Burnley in the East Lancashire Derby this Saturday. That's, of course, the peach of the fixtures. Who will come out on top in that? Well, we'll, of course, explore that and more in a second with today's guest. That right. But before all that, before we jump into the video, something brand new to the channel. And what is it? It's the join button. That's right. We've gone there. Memberships. That's right. We've opened up the floodgates to members, so you can now join and support the channel in another way. We have our first member, so a big shout out to him. But you can also join that member and becoming an extra special member of the community. Just click on the join button, follow the on-screen instructions, and become part of the gang. All right then, folks, before we jump into the deep end with our next round of games, let's, of course, take a look back at how we all got on last time around then, shall we, with a recap of the results. So here they are. Remember, Gabby was with us to talk all things Championship last time around. Of course, he has set the benchmark for his scoreline, and we'll talk about his ranking in a second in the old Wall of Fame. That's right. So Wednesday did not beat Leeds. Leeds coming out on top. Both Gabby and I went with that scoreline, and we were wrong, shambolically so. Meanwhile, Bristol City and Coventry could only draw 1-1 in the end. Gabby got that one close to the mark with his draw. Meanwhile, Hull and Millwall, the same. It was draw Saturday as Hull and Millwall duked out to a 0-0 draw. Both myself and our guest went with the hosts on that one. QPR and Plymouth also duked out to a 1-1 draw at Loftus Road. Both again, Gabby and myself going with the home victories on that. Both of us were wrong. We both backed the right horse, though, as Rovers picked up a win against Oxford at Ewood Park. 2-1 it was in the end. Both Gabby and I went with a 3-1 win. Borough and Portsmouth, another draw. 2-2 it was. Desmond 2-2 at the Riverside. Good point on the road for Pompey. Again, we both backed the hosts. The Canaries and Sheffield United, again, another draw. 1-1 it was in the end, but both Gabby and I with draws on our respective prediction lines. Next go, Preston. New manager bounce it was. Preston the Nobbers with a 1-0 win over Luton. Both Gabby and I went with the away side, but we didn't expect, when we did make the recording, Heckingbottom was not in charge. So we did anticipate. So I'm giving us a bit of an out there. Meanwhile, the Baggies with a 2-1 win over Stoke. I went with a 1-2-2 draw. Gabby went with a 1-0 win, so he got close to the mark on that. But Sunderland did beat Burnley. We all predicted it as well. Derby did lose to Watford. We all went with the winners on that one. And Swansea and Cardiff was a Welsh draw. It was over at Swansea. So those were my picks. What about your picks then? Well, as you can see from the old Super Brew, we do have a winner for this week. AJ24 picking up a whopping 23.5 points. Big shout out to Philly Pete up there with 17 points. He's up there with the power 5 or so. Shepherd's up there. We've got Sammy Boy, Stevie B, Spicy Lemon, all with respected scorelines. The guest, I think he got 11 points. Did he? What did he get on here? I see 10 points for Gabby right there. I did very, very poor. We don't really want to emphasize it, but I did pretty miserable. I'm down here somewhere. I think, what did I get? 9 or something. Anyway, let's forget about that. Let's hop on over to the main leaderboard. Well, the current leader at the moment is AJ24 with a respective 39 points on the docket. Kieran Gafferty's up there alongside him with 34 points. And then Newton Abbey, 49 place jumper to number 3. Wow, we was come out of nowhere. It is still early days in the competition, so don't forget to get involved with the link. What is the link? Well, I'll show you in just a second here as we look forward to the table. Here's the league table before we get into the deeper matter here of today's predictions. Sunderland top the charts alongside Watford, perfect so far. 3 wins on the bounce. Rovers are up there, dizzy heights in 3rd. Going down right now is Cardiff, Luton and Millwall. Plymouth are above them with just the 1 defeat so far under Wayne Rooney. And again, that link for that Super Brew, it is right here. Cut4/champ 2425. We are all talking about the new games coming at you this weekend, including a bit of a special one, East Lancashire derby, Burnley against Rovers. And what better way to do this week's predictions than to get a Burnley specialist? And joining me today is Liam, and we're going to jump straight in the deep end by taking a look at the next coming games, which will be on the screen right about now. We're going to go through these one by one and hopefully get himself onto the Wall of Fame. Currently, House by Sheffield United Way tops the charts with 12 points. Gab's in there in second with 10. Elliot Bennett down there with a woeful 5. But we can all change that. Liam can change that, but let's get into it right here, right now. All right, so today we're going to start off, of course, looking at the matchday number 4, I believe. And on Friday night, we have Luton Town up against QPR coming at you at Kenilworth Road. 19 times they've played. Relegated with Burnley last season. Of course, QPR started okay so far, picking up, I think, maybe a point or so. Luton, not the greatest start under Rob Edwards. They did play last time at Kenilworth Road back in October 2022. Luton Town winning 3-1. Bookies have it in favour of Luton. QPR the underdogs. Liam, which way are you thinking this game will go on Friday night? Under the cameras, or lights even.
It is a weird one because I do quite like QPR, and with Luton Town right now, they're still kind of waiting to kind of find their feet in the league this campaign. So I've got this weird feeling that I think, because I really do highly rate the QPR manager, Cifuentes, I believe that's how I'm probably saying it incorrectly, but I really do rate him. So I probably will say I can expect a bit of an upset here, and I'm going to say 2-1 QPR. 2-1
QPR, which will continue a bit of a rough start for Luton Town. I've actually gone the other way, gone with a 2-1 win. So one of us is right. Well, maybe it might even be a draw. Who knows? I'm going to skip the good one until the end. We'll talk. We'll drop into the small game that's going to kick off early on Saturday. But there's another game. There's a couple other games going on at the same time in Wales this time. Cardiff up against Middlesbrough. Cardiff under Urobulu. Again, not the best start this season for the Blue Noses, or whatever they call themselves. Middlesbrough under Michael Carrick. Also, not a bit of a wobble early doors for them. But of course, a bit of distraction as well in the cup this week. Played 25 times since 2008. 12 wins for Middlesbrough, 11 wins for Cardiff. There's been 2 draws between the two sides. And last time they featured over in Wales, it was a win for Borough, who have actually won 3 on the bounce against Cardiff. Bookies backing Borough as well. Vizzy, which way are you going?
I think I may continue that trend, honestly. With Cardiff, they do have some nice little players, but I swear half of them are already injured, and I think they probably gave a lot of their energy for the derby just the last weekend. So I do really like Middlesbrough. I like Carrick, and I think they got some really good players. So I'll probably back Borough here as well. I think it'd be a bit more convincing. I'll say 2-0 Borough.
2-0 Borough. I'm also backing the away side here, going with a 2-1 win for Middlesbrough on that one to continue. Not the great start for Cardiff. Coventry, though, spending a bit of cash. Everyone's sort of dark horses to make the playoffs, or some even maybe a bit more than that. 30 times they have played Norwich over the course of around about 30 years. 7 wins for Coventry, 14 wins for the Canaries, 9 draws. So at the Rico, last time they played at this very venue, it was a draw back in October 2023. Norwich yet to lose against them over the last 6. Bookies are back in. What are they backing? They're backing Coventry on this one. Norwich, the underdogs. What about you? What are you thinking?
I'm really looking forward to this game. This game, if you're a betting man, this screams over 2.5 all over it. I'm expecting goals in this game. Both teams have decent attacks, but defenses are both kind of shaky. You can get at them. So I'm a call for goals here. And I think with Norwich, I just don't know if they're the same team as they used to be, or they still need time to get under their new manager. So I would say 3-2 Coventry, which may be it's a big one because, but hey, there's always 1 or 2 weekends each match week in Championship that goes crazy. So maybe this is the one.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it could be a cracker with, Cardiff's got a lot of firepower. Norwich going for a bit of transition. I'm also backing the hosts here. 2-1 win. Not as many goals, but, it's still plenty to get excited about. Derby County, we played them already. When I say we, I mean us, taking on Bristol City at Pride Park. A bit of a response from Derby since that opening day loss. but taking on Bristol City. Liam Manning, I think they've done very, very well so far in the season, sitting 7th. Again, it is very early days. 29 times they're played since 93. 13 wins for Derby, 9 for Bristol City, 7 draws. The last time at this venue, it was a 3-1 win for Bristol City. In fact, Derby just winning once of the last 6. And that was also at Pride Park. The bookies again going for Derby County for the win. Bristol City are out of the cup, I believe. I can't see them. Play. I got their fixture list over me. I can't see them playing in the cup. So less of a distraction. Derby's still in it. Which way are you swinging?
I think a draw is inevitable to come up in one of these, and I think I'll go for again here. Bristol City, of course, have got a better team. Playing away from home though. Derby County, a big winner home against Borough the other weekend. So it looks like they got a bit of more going for them at home. Home advantage is going to be key for them this campaign. I'm a go towards a 1-1, and I'm concerned that you may be doing the same here as well.
I've gone 0-0. I've gone 0-0. Derby a little bit toothless up top. Bristol City might want to just keep the momentum going, keep the wheels going, and a point in the bag on the road is usually pretty good for anybody. What we got going on? Leeds, everyone's favourite. Leeds United, Farker ball. Having a bit, not the greatest start. They're still okay. 6th in the table. My phone's going bananas here. Up against Hull, Tim Walter, not too sure about him just yet. Taking over the reins from Rossignol, played 21 times since 2005. 9 wins for Leeds, 5 for Hull, 7 draws at Ellen Road. What we got here? 1 win for Hull out of the last 5, I'd say here. And that was at Ellen Road. This one is at that very venue. What are you thinking about this one? Bookies. I'll give you the bookies odds quickly on this if I can find it. Going in favour of Leeds overwhelmingly so, heavily backed. What about you?
Yeah, I can't really see where Hull caused an upset here. They're not the same team as they were last campaign, and under the new manager, which I feel like is possibly a mistake. Second Rossignol in the way that they did over the new idea of more attractive football. It's easier said than done. And I feel like this is probably going to be one of those games where Leeds are a bit of pressure, and of course a big win away at Sheffield Wednesday. I feel like this is going to be one of those kind of statements, comfortable wins that I think they're going to have here, unfortunately. So I'm going to go with 3-0 Leeds here. Actually, I'm going to go 3-1 because they cannot keep a clean sheet for the life of them. So I'm going to say 3-1 Leeds. I just can't see Hull causing anything of an upset here like Pompey. But you never know, but I think it's unlikely.
Yeah, it doesn't look likely. I've actually gone with a 3-0 win myself. So you saved us from a mirrored image there for the prediction. So yeah, I do expect high goals Leeds. But again, I'm not too sure about. I really don't know about Hull these days. Millwall, they are, of course, taking on Sheffield Wednesday down London way, down the Den. Neil Harris's Millwall, 22nd in the table right now. Danny Roll, everybody loves Danny Roll. 15th in the table, but again, Wednesday not been playing the best football of the past couple of games. 22 times they've played since 2001. 7 wins for Millwall, 8 wins for Wednesday, 7 draws. Last time at the Den, it was 2-0 win for Wednesday. That was their first win in at least 6 games against Millwall. Millwall preferred winners in that game. Bookies also backing the hosts, but only slightly. What about you?
I think for this one, this feels to me like one of those traditional Millwall kind of house games where they're going to get a 1-0 win in by some sort of set piece, or just kind of dragging it over the line somehow. I think this is because of the form and the hype around Sheffield Wednesday. I feel like people would be more going towards them, but I don't think Millwall are going down. I think they'll collect points and drag out games throughout the entire campaign. And I think this very well can be one of them. I'm going to go 1-0 Millwall, and hopefully you're not doing the same as me as well.
I'm splitting it. I'll split it down the middle. I'm going to go for a draw here, point apiece. And again, I think Wednesday will be happy with that. Yeah, Millwall, tricky place to go. Always awkward. Oxford United, one of the new boys on the scene, up against Preston. Those lot down the road. New manager, Paul Heckingbottom for Preston, picking up new manager bounce instantaneously. Des Buckingham, one of the youngest coaches in this second tier. Never played each other at least recent times. I'm going to have to dig out the record books here. I can't remember the last time that these two sides played. But the bookies are back in. It's very split by the bookies, but slightly favoured Oxford United on this one. Difficult to call on this one. I don't know which way I'm going to swing. At the Kazam, though, Liam.
Yeah, it is a tough one. Oxford, did really well away at Coventry. Really unfortunate to concede at the end with a really poor back pass. And, that would have been a fantastic result for them. And Preston, you genuinely don't know what to really get from them. Like, they're such a strange team in many ways, really. So there is a new manager bounce, and that is kind of what is making me want to go the other way. And Preston is really annoying. So I'm going to go for Preston here to maybe cause a bit of an upset here, because Oxford, I feel like people may think, they're still riding the high of last campaign. I think they're going to do something crazy and somehow win 2-0. I'm going to go for that.
So backing Preston for the 2-0?
I'm backing Preston, yeah. I think New Manchester Bounce and Preston are just weird. So I'm going to go for them.
Yeah, I am leaning towards the Oxford, but it does smell like Heckingbottom might get another win.
There's no real logic behind it. It's a championship, so sometimes there are just results where it just doesn't really matter what you really think. It just happens. So I think it could be one of them.
It could be. I'll make it a little different. Well, not really. I already had it down. 2-1 win Oxford. Plymouth up against Stoke. Stephen Schumacher derby, formerly of Plymouth, now of course at the helm at Stoke, up against Wayne Rooney's Plymouth Argyle, who've responded well to that opening day trouncing by unbeaten now in the last 3 matches. Stoke back-to-back defeats in all competitions, all venues. Played 10 times these two sides since 2004, exchanging victories left, right, and centre. Just actually one win for Plymouth over the last 5. That was the last time they played at home park. Bookies are backing. They are backing Stoke. They're backing Schumacher for this one. What about you? It's a long way to go, is Plymouth. It's always tricky to get down there.
It is, and I just really don't know how to look at really either side here. I don't know what to expect from either of them, really. I think Stoke inevitably we felt like would just click eventually because they had a lot of money to spend quite a few years ago. It's not really the same anymore. But it's Wayne Rooney, and I trust him less. I do. So I can't say too many wins for either side here. So I'm going to say this may be a draw, and I think it could be a really drab one. I'm going to go for 0-0. I think. I've not said enough draws, so I feel like I got to put some more in there, and I think this is one of them that it makes more sense to be a draw. I'm going to go 0-0.
I'm close to a draw. I'm going to squeak it to Wayne Rooney and Plymouth. 1-0 win. Morgan Whittaker special to break Stokes' hearts and Schumacher again. Let's go to Pompey. Fratton Park up against Sunderland. Long away day for Sunderland. Reggie Labrie, Sunderland, who are top of the table as we speak. Portsmouth are in 12th mid-table. Draw Kings. They've drawn 4 of the last 6, including back into pre-season. Played 30 times, these two sides. Familiar foes maybe in League One for a little bit back in recent times. And in fact, that was the last time they played at Fratton Park. It was in League One. 4-0 win it was for Pompey back in October 2021. Bookies are backing Sunderland on the road. Were they that good this weekend, or were just Burnley had a real off day?
Quite a lot of both, to be fair. In terms of Burnley, we had absolutely no idea where most players were on the pitch, and it looked like that. So it was a bit of both. They were doing quite well, pressing's quite high, but most of our players never even knew where they were meant to be. So we stood no chance, really. Because of the kind of history, Pompey and Sunderland back in League One, I think Pompey usually always had the up hand against them. So I'm going to go for Pompey here for a big kind of home win. Have they won this campaign yet?
No.
I don't think
not even in the cup. Not even in the cup.
I think for them, I think this is their first one of the campaign. I think it'd be a good one. They had a decent draw against Luton, but of course, against 10 men, you just felt a bit better. So I'm gonna go for a win here. I'm gonna go 2-1 win here for Pompey.
2-1. I'm close. I'm going with that draw. 2-2. Desmond 2-2. Portsmouth continue the draw campaign. Sunderland again. We'll be happy with another point in the bag. The Baggies taking on Swansea over at the Hawthorns. West Brom looking to add a few new faces before the window shuts. 42% form for them. Just 1 defeat in the last 4. Swansea done a nice good run under Luke Williams, unbeaten in the last 3 matches. Probably includes the cup as well. Last time around at this very venue, 3-2 it was for West Brom back in August 2023. In fact, West Brom have only won once at the last 6. The other 5 have been wins for Swansea, who are... they are the underdogs for this one. The bookies are going with the hosts. Is that where you're going?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I adore Carlos Corberán. I think he's a fantastic manager. And I think Swansea, they're the type of team that you think would be the team that West Brom would beat, kind of how they play and the players that they have. So I'm going to go for a West Brom winner. I think it'd be maybe a bit tougher I think it'd be because Coburn never really scores too many goals unless they're playing QPR away first game of the season. So I'm gonna go for 1-0 West Brom win here. I believe. I know West Brom will win. I'm gonna say it'd be only a 1-0 though. I don't really know why, but I'm gonna go for that.
Well, I'm matching you sort of. I'm going with a 2-1 win. One goal separates the two sides on this one. And then the Blades take on Watford. That's on Sunday at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United mid-table, back-to-back draws for them. Watford flying high, 4 wins on the bounce and everything in all the competitions they're playing. 33 times they played since 94, 11 wins for Sheffield United, 13 wins for Watford, 9 draws. Last time around at Bramall Lane, it was a 1-0 win back in February 23. Bookies going with Sheffield United. They're going for Sheffield United on this. Watford flying. Going against what I thought. I thought Cleverley was going to be one of the first to be gone, but tops the table or near that neck of the woods. What are you thinking?
Yeah, there's some good vibes at Watford for the first time in quite a long time, to be fair. And I feel like because Sheffield United, they'll be expecting to kind of, really pick up the pace soon. And I think that may not happen yet. I think there could be a draw here. I need to sprinkle some draws somewhere. It always happens, and I'm going to pick this to be a draw as well. I think it'd be a decent scoring one, similar to the game they played against QPR, the 2-2. And I'm going to go for another draw here as well. I think it'd be another 2-2. Sure. I think there'd be goals, but I think that defensively they still aren't particularly great. Because Watford are in form, and they got that good feeling behind them. So yeah, I'm going to go for a draw here.
I'm backing the Blades on there. They look good going forward. I'm not too sure defensively, but they've been strengthening the top end quite handsomely this past transfer window. Okay, now let's go back to the small matter in hand here. It is at Turf Moor. It is Burnley. It is Rovers. Now, the form book, what I'm looking at right here, I know the recent form is not great from my point of view, but over the last 24 years, we've played 15
Christ, you're going to go back 24 years. Come on.
No,
for every team, it's the last 5 games, but for this game, it's the last 24 years. I see how it is.
It's what I'm looking at. It's what I'm looking at. It still favours the claret. So last 24 years, 15 times played, 6 wins for Burnley, 5 wins for Rovers, 4 draws, of course. Burnley's biggest win, 3-0 win. Rovers' biggest win, 5-0 win. I've got to get that in there. Last time they played, though, at your very venue was a 3-0 win for Burnley, but we have not scored against Burnley in, goodness gracious me, the last
in 2014 5. Jordan Rhodes, mate.
Yeah, that was the last 5. So hopefully we get.
I think that was 6 games ago.
Yeah, there was a defeat. It was a defeat, but in the last 5 we have not found the back of the net.
Which that's still insane. I still find that crazy.
It is, and you've strengthened then, and of course are one of the favourites to romp this league. What are your thoughts, bookies? I'll tell you the bookies. Yeah, they go for Burnley, of course they do. You back your boys.
I'll back the boys, of course. I presume we'll go much more into depth in a separate video, I imagine.
Yes.
I mean, right now it's been a really strange week. The lineup against Cardiff is vastly different to the lineup against Sunderland, and I feel like it'd be again so different to the lineup against you guys this weekend. Like so much can happen next couple of days. A lot of outgoings already, but already a lot of incomings as well. So that's why I really cannot tell you too much of what to really expect, because I don't think anyone really knows on our side either. Either way, we still have got a lot of quality. That is still an absolute assurance. Main concern is, can we gel that together quick enough to play you guys, which is a big ask because it is a derby and anything can really happen. And I think for you guys over there, I feel like this is going to be a very good time to hopefully score a goal. I think that's the minimum for your expectations. But even to get a draw, I think would be a decent result for you boys. So, yeah, it's definitely time to play us because we've got a lot of kind of noise happening in the club right now in terms of a lot of business, a lot of movement. But I still got to back the lads in terms of the quality who gets us over in the end. I think it'd be a tough one, and I think it'd be a really annoying one. And I can expect you guys scoring first, but I think it'd be a comeback, and I say it'd be 2-1 Clarets.
2-1. Yeah, I'm not as optimistic. I believe that we can score. We've been banging them in quite rapidly this past 3 games. Again, the competition hasn't been that stellar. This is definitely the biggest game of our season so far, and probably will be the biggest of the season in all. And it is the right time to play you. If we're going to play you in November, we'll probably get turned over. But I'm optimistic that I'm going for a draw. I'm going to go point apiece. and I'll take it with a 1-1, and hopefully that just gives us a little bit of local pride as we try to navigate a tricky old season.
I think he has had one shot against us the last time he played us at Turf. So, like, I mean, it's not that hard to get better than last time. It's not that hard.
Yes, and we've got a British manager now who might read into it a little bit more than JDT, who was a bit, I don't know what we could say about his tactics and his approach to the game. But hopefully John Eustace knows it, the importance of it, and what's on the line. Again, I want to say donate any ad revenue to a charity of your choice. What do you want to chuck that? Where are we chucking it? Where are we going to chuck this ad revenue to?
I mean, I've done quite a lot of work for M Society, my live streams for in the past, or my 7 marathons that I did back in March. M Society, multiple sclerosis, which in part hurt my mother. So M Society UK is the charity which I do work for. So, well, I've done work for. So I would say them in terms of the impact towards me and my family.
Okay, guys, you heard it. Make it worth its while. Get watching, subscribe, smash the like, all that business, and that will be that. So, well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Do big shout out once again for Liam, giving up a bit of his time to talk all things Championship and all things Burnley as we look forward to the East Lancashire Derby this coming Saturday. I might not be looking forward to it afterwards, but it is birthday week. Hopefully something a little bit special for me. That will be absolutely fantastic. But until then, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. But until then, guys and girls, we are done.